So hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel again. We will solve a new question today. Let's see what is the question. It is said that a tiny ball of mass m is initially at rest at height h above a cake of uniform thickness h. At some moment the particle falls freely. So it starts falling freely, touches the cake surface and then penetrates it in such a constant rate that the speed becomes zero on just reaching the ground. Speed of the ball at the instant it touches the cake surface and its retardation inside the cake are respectively. Okay, so let's see what is told in here. Let's see, there is a height, right, in which there is a tiny ball. Its initial velocity is a zero, right? The acceleration is acceleration due to gravity g. Now let's see, say let this is the cake, this is the cake, right, whose height is h, small h. The height of the from which the ball is fallen is capital H, right? The ball starts falling under the gravity. When it just reaches here, right? When it just reaches here, it will be having a velocity, right? Now it is said this is the first part. This is the first part, case 1. Now the second part is when it hits the cake tries to oppose its motion, and as it reaches the ground, just touches the ground, its velocity becomes 0 meter per second. So we need to find out the acceleration with which it is being opposed, right? So now let's see. There are the rules that we follow is the point from where it is the ball is thrown, it is taken as negative, it is taken as origin. So this is our origin, right? Everything in downward direction will be taken as negative and everything in upward direction will be taken as positive. As the gravity acts in downward direction, hence the acceleration is taken as minus g, right? Initial velocity is given as 0, so I'm giving it 1 for case 1, right? Then the final velocity we need to find out, and the height, the displacement is minus. Now see the height with which it falls, it looks like it is falling the total height as h, but in free fall, until an external force of cake is applied, the height with which it is falling is this one, right? If we are calling A, this point B and this point C, the total height it falls is AB, and the height of AB can be written as h minus capital H minus small h. This is the height. Negative sign is just to depict it is going in downward direction, that's it, because we have taken negative side and downward direction as negative, right? हमने नीचे वाली साइड को डाउनवर्ड माना है, ऊपर की तरफ जो भी होगा उसे पॉजिटिव माना है, इसीलिए हमने s के आगे नेगेटिव लगाया है और एक्सेलरेशन के आगे भी नेगेटिव लगाया है, क्योंकि जो एक्सेलरेशन है वो डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन में ही लगती है हमेशा, right? So now if we see v square minus u square is equal to 2 as the third equation of formula would be written applied here, because there is no discussion of time in here. In this whole question, time is not being discussed. So we will apply the third equation. See the final equation we need to find out. The initial velocity is 0, twice into acceleration is minus g, and displacement is minus h minus small h, right? So when we say here, see here that this minus is cancelled by this, so v square is equal to 2g h minus h. So velocity will be root 2g h minus h, right? When we take root, there are two, one positive and negative sign x. So in this question we will take it as negative, because it is just telling, this negative sign is only telling that the ball is going downward direction. This is just telling the direction, it's not related to magnitude. So hence the velocity's magnitude will be root 2 g h minus h. And we can see there are two options, that there are B and D. These are the two options from which the answer will be, right? Now we will see like what is the retardation. Now see, for the case 2, this was the case 1. This was case 2, right? So in case 2, let's see, the final velocity in case 2 will be 0 for case 2. Initial velocity of case 2 will be this. The final velocity of case 1 will be the initial velocity of case 2. So in this it will become as root 2g h minus h, right? Now the displacement, as it is in downward direction, it will be minus h, right? And acceleration is we need to find out. So we'll take as A. Now let's see, by applying v square minus u square is equal to 2s. Why we are applying this question? Because the time variable t is not being discussed in here, and that's why when the time variable is not being discussed, then the third equation is being applied, right? So the v square, final velocity will be 0, initial velocity u square, so it will comes out to be 2g h negative h, right? As in this it is negative, as the ball is going downwards, in this also it will be negative, but when we whole square that, so it will comes out to be again positive as it was in this equation, right? After that, 2 is equal to acceleration a into my displacement minus h, right? So let's see, negative is being cancelled by the negative, right? Now what is left in here is, so 2g capital H minus small h is equal to 2ah. 2 is being cancelled by 2. Acceleration will be small g h minus h divided by h. Just a second. Divided by h, right? So g is equal to h negative h minus 1 is equal to acceleration, right? So now we will see our option, the correct option in this would be this B option, right? Because in B option, capital H upon H is there, and in this also capital H upon H is in there, because the difference is small h divided by capital H. We can directly solve this question also, right? How can we solve it directly? Let's see. When a ball is dropped from some height, right, the velocity will be root 2g h. This is the velocity. I'll just write it with a different pen so it would be easy for you people to understand. What I'm saying is, when we need to find out the velocity, there is a direct formula 2gh or 2gs. This is the displacement. As we see, the displacement is h minus h. This is the displacement. We can directly put the value in here and we will get 2g h negative h, right? So one option is clear. For the second option, it is said find out the acceleration. Now when we see these are the options from which we need to pick. When we see this g capital H minus h minus 1, this gives out our acceleration as positive and this gives out as negative. Now as the ball is going downward direction, the acceleration must be in upward direction, which is a positive sign, right? So when it will be positive, only when the capital H would be there in the upward. When h upon h minus 1 is a positive value, whereas h upon h minus 1 is a negative value, right? So in this we will not be able to take this and we will take this, right? And that's why the answer will be B. So these are the this can be a trick which we can be solved to solve this question easily, right? So thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class with our next numerical. Till then, subscribe to our channel, right? And best of luck for your exams, right? Thank you.
थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग आवर वीडियो. प्लीज़ कीप कमेंटिंग कि आपको वीडियोस कैसे लग रहे हैं, और नेक्स्ट वीडियो आने तक लर्न करें, लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें. बेल आइकन बटन दबाएं और दोस्तों में हल्ला गाएं.